Big poppin', money in the bank, coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me big poppin'. Money in the bank, coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me what the topic.
What's poppin', everybody? It's your favorite doctender, that girl Henny, and I am about to pour up on some court docs for y'all today. Now, I know that I was supposed to be here yesterday, and I was supposed to pour up the hot Henny for y'all at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., but I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to do it, and the reason I wasn't able to do it is because we have a new kitten. And his name is Milo. And Milo is 3 weeks old. And Milo is like having a brand new baby in the house. Moderators, are my mods in here as of yet? No, let me get my mods in here because what we not finna do is be played with today. That's what we not finna do. So, I was a little tired yesterday and couldn't get my head together, but I've also been going through some things creatively because, with different pages, with great power comes great responsibility. So with different pages comes different branding and different concepts that I have to stick to. So I was a little mucky in the mind yesterday. Like it was like a gumbo was going on in my head. So we didn't get to what we needed to get to, but I'm here today to give you a pour up on Friday. Now I'm slowly baby walking myself because I know you guys be like, Henny, you should have talked about this yesterday. Henny, you need to be going live every day. I have to baby walk myself back into all that I'm doing because I've added more on my plate. But anyway, that's not what y'all came here for. And I am stalling because I am sharing out to different places and spaces for people. So now today we're going to get into Cardi B's lawsuit, okay? Because I didn't talk about Cardi B's lawsuit, and I feel like I want to and break it down the way that I break it down. Also, we have Glorilla has been arrested, which this is the arrest that is kind of baffling everyone because I don't understand how she found herself in Click Click City yesterday. Jesus, I don't know. So we're going to figure it out together. Also, Jay-Z's alleged son, Rymir, has dismissed his case. And I know you guys probably already know about that one, but he dismissed his case against Jay-Z. But there's more that's going on. Also, Diddy is hit with another. Let me take these off because I broke my glasses. Okay. Diddy has been hit with another lawsuit, you guys. Like, I am not surprised because this would be like the third one that has come out, because first it was the guy who came out who I think his name, I don't know if that was Islander or not. I can't remember because it was a minute ago and we talked about it on a Vertical Live, and I never came over here and pulled the paperwork and all of that because we covered it in the Vertical Live. And then you got Clayton Howard, who has been out here on a press run for days, baby. He is on the run eating like his name is N-O-R-E, okay? And if you don't know N-O-R-E, then he is acting like he is the Clyde in Bonnie and Clyde on the run, okay? He is on a run tour like Beyonce and Jay-Z. But anyway, there's that lawsuit. But some of these lawsuits are starting to give me a little bit of the heebie-jeebie and a little side eye because some of their details is not detailing the way they need to be detailing for me, especially being that I was sitting up there in that courthouse and listening to all of the testimony that was being given. And I don't give a damn what nobody says. I have my opinions and my views on it. And that's where I'm going to stay at it. So anybody trying to come in my inbox and convince me, y'all can stop now. It ain't going to work. In sub shots and all of that, it ain't gonna work, okay? Because I've already said how I feel about that, but I will save that for the Diddy portion because it seems like I still have to keep consistently repeating my damn self on what I said. Anyway, now of course, I know everybody wants to get into probably the Cardi B situation, but me, myself, and I kind of want to get into Glorilla because Glo kind of she caught me off guard with they caught me off guard with this one because child, I don't know if y'all saw the report, the news report on it, but I'm pulling it up for y'all right now. Hold on. Is this it? Okay, here we go. Let me get this up on the screen for y'all because it wasn't given for me. I don't know what is going on, but there's something going on that I just don't seem right to me, Jesus. All right, so let's go ahead and let's zoom it in a little bit and let's get into Glorilla being arrested. Uh-oh.
Drugs in her home for science.
Hold on. See, they playing with me. Listen.
Charges after police say they found drugs in her home in Forsyth County during a burglary investigation. Deputies were called to a home owned by Glorilla, whose real name is Gloria Woods, early Saturday morning. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office says 3 suspects went into the home. Woods was not there and were stealing things. Now, someone inside the home fired a gun at them. The burglars ran off. While investigating the burglary, deputies say they smelled drugs and found a significant amount of marijuana in the house. Woods was charged with possession of drugs and turned herself in to the Forsyth County Jail. She was released on bond.
Now, what I would like to know, because I'm going to keep her playing over here on the screen. Let's keep Glorilla playing on the screen, okay? Now, what I would like to know when it comes down to this whole Glorilla case, how is it that she was not home? See, I'm not from Georgia. So if any of y'all are from Georgia, maybe y'all can explain this to me, because somebody broke into her home, right? And then they were taking things out of the home, and someone within the home went at them because they were stealing stuff. And when the police came to investigate, they smelt some Mary Jane. And so because they smelt the Mary Jane, they found the Mary Jane, and then they brought Glorilla up on charges. They never said if this was her main residence. It just says that it was a home owned by Glorilla, but Glorilla is the one who caught the charges. Okay. Now, she ended up, because she wasn't there, she ended up going and turning herself in, and then she was released, and her bail was set at $22,260. And that is why she's out now on bond. But how do you catch a charge? Is it because she's a homeowner? I'm just asking a question about how this all works, because this does not make sense to me at all. But it seems like that is what's happening with Glow. Now, as you know, this is not the first time that Glorilla has been in something, because not last year, in 2023, Glorilla was arrested for DUI, which, from what I've gathered, has not been concluded at this point in time. I don't know what's going on with that case, but I am going to spin the block because I'm going to keep an eye on this. Do y'all want me to keep an eye on this case with Glorilla? Because I figured we would start off slow. And because her case, there's not that much information that's out there except for that. Yeah. So question, if it turns out that this is not her main home, but it is a home that she owns, that would make her the landlord. So then the landlord is now catching charges for what the tenant doing in the house. Okay, here we go. Black Baby Mimi, thank you. I knew somebody in the comments was going to share. I'm from Georgia, Henny. She going to walk. It's illegal to search her home without a warrant. That's what I was. Well, see, here's the thing. They went into the home, and I guess they're going to say that the probable cause for them to search the home was the fact that they smelled the marijuana. But you weren't there for that. You were there because somebody was breaking into her shop and stealing her shot. Oh, I could say shit. I forgot. I could say that word. But they was breaking into her home. So how do you get victimized and then arrested? Like, oh my God. So Latrina is saying they went and got a search warrant. So I don't know how this all works. How does this all work, Jesus? This is why, it's not meant for me. to be a part of certain things. But yeah, so that is what happened with Glorilla. Okay. Now we're gonna keep an eye. I see a lot of yeses went up in the chat that you guys want me to stay on top of this Glorilla story, and I will stay on top of Glow. I like Glow. Okay. Nope. Good. I ain't never good. Anyway. I'm waiting for something to pop up. Okay. So they did obtain a warrant during the burglary during the burglary investigation, you guys. And it says that they responded to the home invasion at Glorilla's residence at about 1:30 a.m. This happened at 1:30 in the morning. The callers stated that there were multiple intruders that broke into the home, and someone inside fired shots at the burglar. All right. Now it says that she wasn't home. So I guess that is her home, and she was out of town performing at the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis. So once she got done with her performance, she had to go turn herself in. Now here's what happened, you guys. Here are the details. It said that during the search, they found 2 pounds of Mary Jane THC wax and a controlled substance not yet publicly named. Now, under Georgia law, the smell of the marijuana alone was used as probable cause. That's what I thought. So the officers were already lawfully on the premises because they had been called by someone because of the burglary. And even though in some states they have decriminalized marijuana, Georgia has not. So any strong smell, any of that is grounds for a warrant. Okay. It also says that law enforcement focused more on searching her bedroom than finding the suspects who actually broke in and terrorized her family. And they claim that the police were prioritizing prosecution over protection, especially considering that she wasn't home and there's no current warrant out for the actual intruders. Now, I had to just skim real quick while we was talking to see what was what, and that's what the what is. Okay, so if you are just now coming in, we are talking about Glorilla, and I had a question because I was trying to figure out how they were able to just go into her home. So I will repeat that once again for the people that are coming in. Plus, I need to make this clip worthy, so y'all just bear with me 1 second, please. All right, so rapper Glorilla was arrested for marijuana in her home when the police came for the burglary that was occurring. Now, according to articles, it says that the police responded to Glorilla's home for a home invasion at 1:30 a.m. in Forsyth County, Georgia. I don't know if I said that right. If I said it wrong, then I apologize. I am not from there. And it said that they got the call because there were multiple people breaking into her home, and someone inside had fired shots at the burglars. Now, Glorilla herself was not home. She was out of town performing at the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis, but while the police officers were clearing the home after the burglars fled because they took off on foot, deputies reported detecting a strong odor of Mary Jane. And because of the smell of the Mary Jane, that triggered them to call the Forsyth County Drug Task Force. And they then applied and received a search warrant, which legally allowed them to search her property. And they found 2 pounds of marijuana, THC wax, and a controlled substance not yet publicly named. Now, I want to know, how much Mary Jane are you smoking, girl? Now, under the Georgia law, the smell of the Mary Jane alone is what caused the probable cause. And of course, they got a warrant, and the officers were lawfully on the premises because they were already there because of the burglary law. Now, Mary Jane is legal in a lot of states, but it is not legalized in the state of Georgia. And Glorilla's attorney is upset because they feel that the officers focused more on searching her bedroom than they did actually going out to pursue who it was that broke into her home. And there are no actual intruders that have been arrested at this time. Period. Point blank. There's the story for y'all. I'm trying to understand it because y'all was more focused on the fact that she had Mary Jane in her house than y'all were finding the people that were breaking into her house. The girl was at the WNBA games performing in Indianapolis. So I guess it wasn't to serve and protect. Who were we serving and protecting in that moment? Were we serving and protecting the publics? Because I don't feel like she was being a public nuisance to me. And I'm not a resident of Georgia, but I seriously doubt anyone would say she herself was causing a threat or danger to society in that moment. No, the people who broke into her home were. So why is she the one that gets arrested? So she gets victimized and then re-victimized and criminalized at the same damn time. Child, welcome to the South. Anywho, you guys, the next person that we are going to talk about is going to be Barty. Now, listen to me, Barty gang. I am Barty gang as well, but Barty got some splaining to do because it's looking like Barty, she done caught herself a case, baby. Let me go on ahead and let me get this up here. Let me get this document up here. Let me change this screen for y'all because Cardi B has caught a civil lawsuit in Vegas for an incident that involved some water and the toss of a mic. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember when Cardi B tossed that mic at that girl? Well, it looks like that girl has filed suit against Cardi B because here is the paperwork. Now, let me go ahead and let me zoom in so that you guys can see what we are talking about here. This young lady is asking for a jury trial and she's attempting, she's asking to be exempt from arbitration and her demands exceed $50,000. All right. So if you don't remember who this young lady is, let me go on ahead and let me remind y'all because this is a video that went viral. Okay. We all saw it. Hold on one second. We all saw it. But there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. Where the heck is my stuff? See, I don't like when my stuff ain't together. Hold on. Let me get that up for y'all because I do have it. All right. Forgive me, y'all. Thank y'all for being so patient with me. I really appreciate it. Y'all have no idea. 1, 2. Okay. Boom. All right. Incoming for us all. All right. Now, what I do have for y'all is I do have 2 angles of this particular video. I'm going to show y'all the first angle of it is the one that we all got to see. Let me take this down and let me get this video up for y'all. All right. Is that it? That's it. Let me take my watermark down because I want y'all to see all of it. I want y'all to see all of it. Now, y'all remember this? Ooh, yeah. So that's what happened. And that's the clip that we got to see that went viral everywhere, where the fan threw a cup of water at Cardi B. And then Cardi B, in turn, after that water splashed her, threw her microphone at the young lady. I also have another camera angle for y'all. Hold on, because somebody posted it on TikTok. You know, somebody is going to be like, I got the other half of the story, y'all. And sure enough, somebody had a different angle from within the crowd that showed what happened as well. Let me go ahead and play this clip for y'all. Wait a minute, hold on. I wanted the volume up because I want y'all to hear this. She was up there saying she's sorry after she had thrown the water up there. Now, I know that a lot of us were sitting here like, you get what you get, right? When this incident happened, because during 2023, that was around the time when people were throwing phones, Skittles, bracelets, shoes. They were throwing bottles and all types of stuff onto the stage after these artists and comedians. So during that time when we first saw this video, I know for me, when I first saw it, I was saying, well, y'all got to stop throwing stuff up on them stages and thinking that everybody is just going to be okay with it, because Barty is not the one for you to be getting up there thinking you just going to be throwing stuff at her and it's going to be okay. But I also felt like, sure, they going to come for you now, girl, because you done threw that microphone at her. So I already had a feeling that a lawsuit was going to ensue at some point in time from this. But there is another camera angle that I am going to share with y'all, because apparently this was not unwarranted. Now, some people know about this and some people don't, but apparently Cardi, when she was performing, she was in Vegas, and Vegas gets very hot. It's a desert, okay? So apparently while she was performing, she had asked people in the audience to throw water on her, right? Let's watch.
Give me some water. Splash her down. Throw me some water again, bitch, because I'm hot. Give me some water. Splash her down. Give me some water. Splash her fuck down. Woo, that shit feel good. Put that shit in. Yeah, bitch. Sexy lady, let me hear you say, Let's fucking go, bitch.
All right. So as you can see in this video clip, Cardi was actually telling them to throw water on her. So let's go back to the lawsuit so we can try to understand what Jane Doe is saying actually happened in that whole entire moment. Now that we've seen the clips and we've been refreshed on the matter at hand, let's go ahead and let's read a little bit. Now, the young lady that I showed y'all that was saying she was, I'm sorry. This is definitely her suit, right? So she says that, on or about July 29th of 2023, the incident giving rise to this action occurred at Dari's, I don't know, beach nightclub in Las Vegas, okay? And Jane Doe is saying that she was in attendance as a guest and that she's a resident of Cleveland, Ohio, who was visiting Las Vegas. Now, during their performance, Cardi B appeared on stage under visibly high temperatures and conditions while holding a microphone. She says that she verbally requested that the audience splash water on her, which is what we just saw. She says that Cardi made repeated gestures and statements encouraging concert goers to throw water, implicitly authorizing and inviting light splashes for drinks. Okay. So then she says that there was an unidentified MC also present on stage, echoing the reinforcement of Cardi's request, thereby amplifying and encouraging the encouragement and engagement in this conduct. Okay. Cardi then further demonstrated her consent and participated by pouring water from a bottle over her body while on stage. Then she struck a pose and physically reacted to splashes by slapping her postiere, which is her derriere, while the audience was throwing liquid. Baby, she audibly said, "Woo, that feels good," which is true because that's in the video, right? So now Jane Doe says she was acting in accordance with the environment created by Cardi's expressed words and conduct for them to throw water on her, right? And in an apparent anger and without warning, Cardi suddenly and forcefully threw her microphone at the plaintiff, okay? Now, Jane Doe says that she observed Cardi's conduct and experienced immediate apprehension of an imminent harmful content. The microphone struck Jane, resulting in offensive and unconsented physical contact and causing physical injury. She goes on to say that Cardi knew or should have known that the water throwing conduct she invited posed no threat of injury or harm, and that Cardi also knew or should have known that the microphone, a dense and blunt object, presented a foreseeable risk of physical injury when thrown. And she goes on to say that throwing that microphone was unjustified, and such conduct constituted an unreasonable escalation and was excessive. Okay. She's also holding the other people accountable. Now, she further goes on to say, in the days that followed the incident, the microphone that was used, that was thrown at her, was auctioned off for approximately $99,000 by Scott Fisher, owner of the Wave, the company that had provided the microphone. Now, there is more to that video. And now that we've heard what Jane is alleging, let's watch the rest. And this is like where she's talking about Cardi poured water on herself. And this is where she's telling them to throw more water on her. Now, oh, look, that's us. That's us right now. Oh, I didn't share the tab. Damn it.
Hey, give me some water. Yes. Let's look it up,
Now, this is where she pours the water on her. My bad, y'all couldn't see. My bad. And this is where she's asking for the more water. More water. Flash water in my business.
Bitch, that was too bad, bitch. Wait, let me more right here, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Now, what I'm going to say about the way, oh, they didn't share our video again. Now, what I'm going to say about this video right here and the way that they had spliced it, it doesn't match up with what we saw happening, because Cardi was clearly performing when the girl splashed the water on her. Now, I don't know if it was a miscommunication in events that was going on, because clearly we do see that Cardi was asking people in the crowd to throw water on her. She was bending over and having them throw it on her butt. Okay, she was encouraging that behavior. But what we're missing is what happened between that time and when this girl threw the water. Now, if we were not at a portion of programming where the crowd was supposed to be throwing the water, then that would be something different. And it looks like people were only throwing the water when she was requesting that the water be thrown on her, because right now I don't see any water being thrown at her, but now she's asking again for people to throw the water. Now, I'm seeing down in the comments, T. Jackson said, Cardi said no more water. So that's what I'm saying. There's a piece of the video that I did not come across as of yet with this. I am going to keep up with this and see what goes on with it. But to me, it looked like she was caught completely off guard. She was also performing. That's what it looked like to me, that she was performing when this happened. And so it caught her off guard, and it looked like her reaction and response was to throw the microphone. Now, I am going to say this. People in that time in 2023, just like I said a few minutes ago in this video, people were throwing things on the stage. So at that point in time, she was encouraging some light fun because it was hot, cool her off, throw some water. But now if she said no more water and you still threw the water, that doesn't warrant her throwing the microphone, you guys. Come on, I'm Barty gang, but let's call things now. The microphone was a bit excessive, but the young lady was also escorted out by security. Cardi was very pissed off about that. I feel like two rights don't make a wrong. And in this situation, I don't think anything should be given. I think this should just be let go, because you should have never thrown the water. Your water, while she deems it not to be a threat, she doesn't know what was in your cup. And if she stopped asking y'all to throw water and then you threw it, she has no idea. Now, when everybody else was throwing that water, Cardi was in preparation for it. And the reason why I say I didn't know what happened in between, thank you, T. Jackson, for giving me that piece of information, is because when the water splashed her, it was like it caught her so off guard. So I don't know, but I see where this lawsuit is going, where they're saying now, she was encouraging this behavior and I was just trying to go along with the fun and do what everybody else was doing. Everybody else was throwing the water, but everyone else was throwing the water when it was the appropriate time. So Beyonce's wig says they wanted to press charges, but they dropped it. Yes, Cardi is from New York. Okay. And let me tell you something. New Yorkers, we react first and ask questions later. And that's something that we don't outgrow until we get a little older. And sometimes we never outgrow it. But I feel like this case right here is definitely a money grab because, girl, that happened in 2023. We are now in 2025. We are 2 years later, almost to the day later. And now you are suing. Now you're suing. I'm not saying that nobody has a right to sue, but let me go and let me see. Does it say how much she's seeking? Because that's what I didn't look at to see if she has a total amount of what she's looking for. Okay, yes, she does have a total amount. Let me get this back up on the screen so that we can complete this portion of the story because y'all know I like to give y'all the full thing. So now here it says right here, it says she is seeking general damages to be proven at trial, but not less than $15,000. She's also seeking special damages, including but not limited to medical expenses, emotional distress, reputable harm, and economic loss. Now, I don't know what economic loss you suffered from the microphone because it did not seem to hit her in the face. It didn't seem to hit. It looked like it hit her, but it didn't hit her like in a place that like, I don't know. She's also looking for punitive and exemplary damages against Cardi as well. For willful, malicious, and unconscious disregard for the rights and the safety of the plaintiff. She's also asking for a prejudgment and post-judgment interest as allowed by law, meaning that she wants interest from the time that the lawsuit was filed all the way up until the time that it gets paid. Now, that is what she's looking for. This is a problem when it comes down to celebrities, and a lot of celebrities need to understand this. When you do things, it's going to come back. Okay. People are going to, when I say it's going to come back, I mean, you threw the microphone, this girl sees a payday and she's going to come. At the end of the day, I really don't see what damages were that like reputable. How? We don't even know who you are. I don't know if the Barty gang went and doxed her. Because the Barty gang does not play about Barty at all. Okay. I don't know if they went and doxed her or not. But yeah, I guess people who know her may have come out and teased her or whatever. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to make sense of it because baby, it don't make no sense to me. Let's play this one last time of what happened when the microphone was thrown. Now, I don't see. She just said she looked okay to me. She wasn't holding herself or, she wasn't saying that she was harmed in that moment. I just see her saying it looked like it might have hit her in the chest or the stomach area. And because she did like this, I don't know. But either way, this young lady is seeking damages. And so I don't know. Do y'all think that Cardi should countersue? Maybe she should countersue. Oh, $50,000 is not what she's getting if it was up to me. Anywho. Now, Jay-Z and his alleged son, Rymir. This case has been going on for a very, very long time, you guys, okay? And Rymir, let me pull out my handy dandy notebook to make sure that I get this right. What we didn't know when I covered this way back when, a couple months ago, I'm saying way back when, like it was 5 years ago, child. I ain't even been here 5 years. over the course of the years, Rymir has gone after Jay-Z, his godmother, his mother. There have been cases that have been filed in 4 different states, 5 different cases. There has been a case against Jay-Z in New Jersey, which is the one that we read, where they were saying that they felt like he was paying off the judges allegedly and law enforcement allegedly. There were 2 filed in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia is Pennsylvania. And then in California, but I don't know if there was another case that was another part of Philadelphia or not, or if it was 3 cases that were in Philly, because it was 2 in Philly and 1 in Pennsylvania, so I'm not sure. But he's been filing lawsuits for years. And all of these lawsuits have all ended in some type of dismissal. Now, the backstory to this is that Rymir's mother, when she first filed her suit, she was facing fraud charges from the state of New Jersey because she had another man listed on the birth certificate and had him paying child support for 17 years. And the New Jersey court system said, you can't have somebody on the birth certificate and have them paying child support for 17 years and then come in here with this, ma'am. So she decided to dismiss the case. Now, there is a lot that is going on, and I'm actually going to do a separate live breaking down everything from the beginning to the end, from the rooter to the tutor, okay, and then from the tutor to the rooter again, because this case has been very twisted. Now, I'm not going to go over every single detail, but I am going to go over a lot of what has gone on over the years, because this is something that has taken the whole social media by storm, because everybody has been saying Rymir looks like Jay-Z. Jay-Z's friend D. Haven came out and said that Rymir is Jay-Z's son. Allegedly, there is a daughter that he has that is sitting in an affluent portion of Maryland, if I'm not mistaken, and he's quietly taking care of her because it's been proven that that was his daughter. And I do remember that there was a young lady that came out some years ago that was saying that her mom was with Jay-Z and that he was her dad and this, that, and the third, and she was making a big noise about it, a big commotion, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And D. Haven is saying, according to him, it is being alleged that the daughter is being taken care of quietly and secretly. So, are you saying, Latrina, are you behind? Because you're saying no, let it go. Are you saying no, let it go to Cardi B, or are you saying no, let it go to breaking down all of this stuff with Rymir and Jay-Z and how all of this stuff came to be? Hey, Shaniqua, because I find it a very interesting case. So even if I don't do it for the public, I'll do it in my members. Coco, I have to say alleged for the channel, baby. I have to say alleged for the channel. This is how I keep myself safe, because I don't have firsthand knowledge. I didn't go there. If you want to tell me where you live and I come down there and then you show me the girl, then I could say, look, this my camera, this my footage, this the young lady, and this is where she at. Xavier M, when are you going to jail? You got something to say? Let me drop this link for you. Let me drop this link for you. She's not going to jail. She has no criminal charges. You got something to say? You like to interrupt my show? You want to interrupt my panel? You want to interrupt my program? You want to come up? You got something to say? Let's give you the attention that you seeking for like 5 minutes. She said, oh, let's go. Okay, Coco, I ain't playing. I'm so serious. I would go and try to get... No, let me shut up. Oh, you have nothing to say? I'm going to drop that link one more time, Xavier. Oh, you have nothing to say? So now guess what? Hello from the other side, sir. Bye. Now you go to the realm of the shadows where you will stay. Period. Why y'all vaporize him already? Let me get him. I want to get at him. That man is not that man's alleged son. Sorry, I need a DNA to tell me that. But I already know that you're going to come in here and you're going to be the opposing. So it's cool. I love you anyway. And I love you anyway. Moving right along to what I was saying, since they want to come in here, like, this is what I mean. They're sick and they're obsessed because we're not even talking about Krishan. She's not even on the thumbnail. Neither is Blueface or Whack or anybody. Because if it was somebody that was circus related, even if I was talking about Carlissa, if I was talking about whatever, I could understand you bringing Krishan into the fold. We're talking about Jay-Z. She hasn't even crossed paths with Jay-Z, took a picture with him, did a song with him, none of that. And here y'all come bringing her up. But then y'all want to say that her supporter base are the ones that are obsessed. We're talking about other people and things that are going on. And here you come. Boy, your helmet strap must have been on tight today. But thank you for watching. You can continue to watch from the shadows. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna need for me to not say allegedly or any of that stuff. I'm going to need a DNA for me, because as of right now, the way the story is being presented is that there's a possibility that he could be this child's father. So, I mean, I know there's people that don't like when I say the things that I say, but let me tell you something. I don't put nothing past nobody. And I would be it'd be very foolish and naive of people to believe that this man don't have at least a couple illegitimate children out there. I'm not trying to be funny or slanderous, but back in the day, Jay-Z was getting punanter. Up the yin yang. He was getting punanter. People was ready to drop them panties for him. Okay? Them panties. Before Trey Songz was talking about this, right? He's a panty dropper. That was a panty dropper. That little bit right there. Latrina, what happened? Latrina says Jay-Z's son said he found out that the man he thought was his father, he found out wasn't. And that's how they came to tell him that Jay-Z was his biological father. Now, there is an interview that the young man did do, and I can play it. I know you are. Listen, you are friendly, so I'm not. Listen, that's why me and you, we could, I already know. Listen, I already love you. It's too late. You're in my heart. It doesn't matter. We've gone back and forth about Diddy. So I get it. Listen, these are the people that we grew up with that we don't want to, but I'm going to keep it all the way funky. Funky. This is how I feel. This is what I think. I don't know about all that other diabolical stuff, so please don't come in my comment section or in this chat while we live right now talking about anything else that is out there. I don't want to talk about them M-word people. I don't want to talk about rituals. I don't want to talk about none of that stuff. We talking about the fact that Jay-Z was getting panties back in the day. So listen, there's the girl, allegedly. I have to say allegedly for the channel. There's this Rymir guy. Then there's a younger one over in the islands, allegedly. Everything is allegedly because we weren't there, so we don't know what really happened. But I mean, he was down there in Camden. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I could pull that up really quickly for y'all, and we could listen to some of the interview that was done with Rymir. I don't know how to spell that boy's name. Is that it? Because I don't know who did the interview. I thought it was Daily Mail. Yeah, it's them. Daily Mail. Yep, they did an interview. I got to see, is it the whole thing? Because I know there's a whole one that's out there of him. So I'm trying to, I don't know how long ago it was. Well, let's see if we could just pull it up real quick. I'm getting hungry, Jesus. Well, it's only a little 3-minute little video. I think we could give it 3 minutes really quickly just to hear what he's had to say in this interview so that it could be a complete story. Y'all know I like to try to complete the stories. I don't necessarily like when things are incomplete, you know? So let's see what he had to say, and then we're going to keep it moving because I told y'all this was going to be a quickie, but a goodie. Yeah, everybody likes a quickie when you be busy, honey. All right, so this is Rymir on, I don't know if it's, I think it's Rymir, not Rymir, it's Rymir on the Daily Mail.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, seeing a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like this can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, you know.
I'm sorry, that right there, I like that he said that. I like what he said. He said, I just want to know the truth. You know, I could take being embarrassed, but not saying anything. And I think that's kind of like where a lot of the public perspective is going, is the fact that there's been nothing. Like you've said nothing, you've done nothing, you've given nothing. Like, and the more you do nothing, say nothing, give nothing, the more this thing looks suspicious, because why not? Why not? Anyway, let's continue.
But it's not fair. I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now. And she been saying, Sean Carter, that's what she was calling him at first before she was calling it Jay-Z. And I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really, this was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. And she continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even till I was grown. He never tried to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking. Is like, cause I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't.
They didn't have to do him like that. Why they did that? Why they did that boy like that?
Looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like,
hold on.
what is it really?
They took a picture
want to
of
know
him.
the truth of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, you seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the
That's weird. They didn't have to do his teeth like that. But I'm just saying, Jesus, did y'all see that? Wait a minute. They took it to the teeth. Hold on. Y'all know I'm going to act a fool.
A bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why are you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with. I work every day. I also have my own kids to take care of. So it's like, it's been a journey for me. And it's just like, you know, I just got so much on my name right now. I never asked for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at the Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. I work for everything. Next is, I'm just trying to basically make sure no other kids or nobody else in the world has to go through this. Basically, don't feel afraid to go to court and see if a person is your biological parents. You know, so many people are scared, and this is a big thing in the world. A lot of people don't have their fathers because they scared to go out and search for them. And sometimes it only take a little search, you know, go search. And if it's wrong, we're adults. Well, most of us adults, even for the teenagers, this shows this being a role model for them, showing you can go in the courtroom, and if you're doing everything correctly, you should be able to just get treated as equal as the other person. I've always been person that I never hate anyone.
You know, I'm supposed to be giving commentary, but I'm really drawn in. I don't know. I'm just really drawn into him and how he's talking. Like, and that's the thing. This right here, Jin. I don't know what would be the issue. And I did see your comment, Coco Drips, you know, that the daughter did an ancestry test and that's how she was able to find out. Maybe he should do one of those. No, I forgot. I just did a whole video on IgG testing and how they're using some of our tests from those ancestry things to close cases and all types of stuff. I don't know, but I mean, nobody's gonna be like, oh, you're this, and this. Like, nobody's gonna do that, but it's like all the running, like all these court cases that have happened and nothing comes from it. Like, what's going on? Like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about, you know, I don't know. Let me let him finish before I say anything.
I never, you know, I don't walk around with hate for a person. So I try to teach my kids that just be the best that you can be. So that's just a motto I go off. I would never hate Jay-Z. You know, it was never that type thing. You know, I respect him for everything he did. And as I said, I've been going through a whole lot through these years because this case, like me, my mom, my godmom, we didn't see the worst. We didn't have people, you know, slander my name. Like you want Jay-Z money. And I hear it all. I'm going to fight until I'm not here no more. And it's never going to be against no one. Like, you know, I'm going to continue to fight. It'll take another 10 years, maybe another 50. Maybe I'll take this to the grave with me, but everybody can say I fought this to the end.
Well, that's how this young man is feeling. Rymir feels like he's gonna keep on going. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want your money. I just want you to give me the truth. I just want to know the truth. If you're not my dad, you're not my dad. If you are, then you are. But, you know, I just want an answer. And honestly, I can understand that. But on the flip side of things, I you know, Jigga, like, don't you want this to go away, Jigga man? Like, the man said he gonna keep going. And I mean, what is this? The fifth? This is the fifth or the sixth dismissed case that he has dismissed and withdrawn. He said, now, before people be like, Kenny, you think this funny? No, let me tell you why I'm laughing, because he said, if it take another 5 years, he said, if it take another 10 years, another 50 years, I'm going to keep going. I'm not stopping. Miss Me with the Bull says, crazy how Jay-Z best friend said Jay-Z knows even from back in the days that he is the father. Why would you fight so hard to not take a DNA if you're 100% not the father? He knows he is, period. Well, that came from Miss Me with the Bull partner. I like that name, Miss Me with the Bull partner. Your profile picture is a little scary. Why is your profile picture that? Yikes. Well, I don't know, because I heard something about another father, but as we're hearing, it came out that wasn't his father. Like, there was another man that was allegedly paying child support, and, you know, he was on the birth certificate, and then he started, I don't know, because Rymir is saying that his mom has been telling him that guy is not your dad, that your dad is Sean Carter. Now, at the end of the day, I do also, while I'm sitting here and I'm acting like, oh, I don't know why he wouldn't. The reason why he wouldn't is because at that particular point in time, that would mean that Jay-Z was dealing with somebody who was underage at the time. And dealing with somebody who's underage will open the floodgates to all the rumors that have been out there for years. And I have to say rumors because this is a YouTube channel. I have to be responsible with my platform, you guys. So, but If you grew up, then you heard. You heard about all of them. I'm not going to go down the list of what everything is, because we all know the rumors are, even currently with Beyonce, what the rumors were with her as well. So if this comes out to be true, then this is going to make those seem like they're valid. You know how we are as people. All we need is one little thing to be true and the whole thing is true. That's how people get away with lying all the time, because all they need is a little bit of facts. Just a little bit. You could have 98% lie and bullshit, and somebody throw that little 1.2% in there of a lie. I mean, of a truth. And it all of a sudden makes everything the truth. No, let's really talk about like how that's probably what he's running from. But at the same time, in running from that, there's somebody over here that's just saying, I just want an answer from you. I just want to answer from you. Now, I've heard that Rymir is saying that he wants in on the will. He wants his back. Listen, this is why I said I want to deep dive into this, but I'm kind of nervous about how I do this, because I'm not trying to be slanderous on either part, and I'm not trying to Goal, I can see you. I see you. Do y'all see Gold Digger down in the comment? Yeah, Latrina, I saw that too. Okay, so Mimi says she sees you down in the comments, so you're not hidden, Gold. But if you talking right now, I don't see you. Say something right now, Gold. Moderators, can somebody go back and check and see who may have gotten? Okay, you see you. Okay, I see me now. Okay, we see you. I got nervous. Like, wait a minute, hold on. One of the moderators is self-sabotaging. Wait, who is going rogue? Anyway, yes, I agree. He deserves to know the truth to put this chapter to bed. And at the end of the day, protecting, if that be the case, because I don't know if that's the case or not. We're on the outside looking in, spectating and giving commentary on what we think. That doesn't mean that this is a fact. But if you're protecting your reputation over closing a chapter in somebody's life, that's wrong. That's all the way wrong. Y'all need to figure this out. Figure this out. Close this chapter. Just let it be known. Let the boy know, who are you, his father or not? You know, like, you don't even have to make it public record. Why don't y'all go meet somewhere quietly, have a conversation, do your DNA privately, because Rymir don't have to come out and say nothing anymore. Let's be real. The way that this social media thing is going, you know, there's always going to be another trending topic, and this will end up being swept somewhere underneath the rug somewhere. People will probably forget, or they'll be like, well, whatever happened to Rymir? And if we don't hear anything from him, It'll just be like, okay, well, the last time we heard anything, the case got dismissed. And here's another thing. Well, no, I can't say that, because I have to go through all of the paperwork. But before I go through all of the paperwork, I'm going to say this. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. What if all of this was put out there and it was dismissed, and they've already quietly settled this matter behind closed doors? I don't know. And on the flip side of that, I do have a question, though. If it comes back that Jay-Z is not Rymir's father, is Rymir actually willing to offer an apology to Jay-Z? I think he would be, but I don't know him personally, but I think he would be. But now we're going to move it right along, because we also have another lawsuit, you guys. Oh my goodness, we have lawsuits. What is going on with all of the stuff that's going on in this world? Because it seems like everybody is catching a damn case, and Diddy is not exempt from that, because once again, we are finding that Diddy has another lawsuit, you guys. Yes, there's another one. This will be the third one since he was found guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution and found not guilty of the RICO and SEX trafficking. There has been another case that has been filed. Like I was saying to you guys in the beginning, it's not raining men, but it's sure enough raining lawsuits. Henny, that's not funny. That's not funny, Henny. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got to behave yourself now. All right. So let's get this to where I could actually see it. But as you can see right now, this is Michael Ijawoko. I don't know Ijawoko, if that's how you say it or not, but he filed a suit against Diddy, and this is dated on 7/24, which was yesterday. He filed this lawsuit against Diddy, against VC Properties in New York, Wynn Resorts in Nevada, Northwood Investors in Colorado, and John Doe Associates 1 through 10, and Roe Entity, I guess they meant Doe Entity, Doe Entities 1 through 10. What is he suing for? He's suing for sexual battery, civil conspiracy, and violation of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Dun, dun, dun. God. This person is about to get eaten up. I'm just letting y'all know. I already see it coming, because the team Diddy'S are going to get, if they decide to report on this, they're going to get this person and they are going to eat them up. Do you hear me? So now let's read the factual findings of this case and see what it is that he is talking about. It's past statutory, correct? I'm not sure. I will have to look. Who has HIV? What are y'all talking about? Is it true Diddy going around giving people? No, Stacey Ballard, that's not true. Not to my knowledge, that's not true. I don't know where you got that from. All right, so now it is time to put a little glasses on, okay? Because we're going to read the factual allegations of this case, you guys. So in this case, it's saying that in or around 2018, that the plaintiff met Diddy, and that Diddy hired the plaintiff, who at relevant times was a commercial SEX worker. He was a prostitute. All right, basically. All right, and it says that he was led to believe that he was engaging in consensual SEX work with adult women, including Cassandra Ventura and Jane Doe, unaware that these women had been coerced or trafficked by defendant Combs. These services included, but are not limited to, oral copulation and physical penetration. You see me side-eyeing? Yeah. He says that Combs orchestrated and observed the encounters, never participating in the encounters himself, but deriving gratification from directing and watching others engage in acts that he choreographed. Combs insisted that plaintiff used body oil that Combs personally supplies, and the plaintiff is informed and believes that the oil was laced with GHB or similar DIDDY'S used to incapacitate both the plaintiff and the women involved. And this is where he lost me, because it has already been testified to by the Homeland Security agents that there was nothing in the GHB, nothing in the baby oil but baby oil. So there was no DIDDY'S in them baby oil bottles. There was nothing that was in the baby oil that was tainted, that would cause anybody to be incapacitated. No, none of that. So when they start saying this stuff, I find it a little hard to believe. I'm sorry, because that's what was testified to. Now, if it comes back that there was something else in there or something else being done, and something else was being done, but y'all got to drop this baby oil stuff, because as soon as I read that, I said, I don't even really want to hear no more. I'm not even going to lie to you, because the agents already tested it. They tested everything, you guys. So that right there, and plaintiff never consented to be in DIDDY'd or manipulated, and would have never agreed to participate had he known the truth. So this guy is somebody who is alleging that he was one of the escorts that was hired, and that Diddy's the one who facilitated it. Diddy's the one that hired him, and that had he known that Cassie and Jane were coerced into doing these things, that he would have never participated. So he basically, in a nutshell, feels like he was duped into participating. Let me continue to read because it is almost done. All right. These events always occurred in hotels owned and operated by the hotel defendants, the Palazzo Casino Hotel, the Wynn Casino Hotel in Las Vegas, and the London Hotel in Los Angeles. Okay. Hotel staff knowingly facilitated Mr. Combs's illicit activities by reserving hotel rooms under aliases, including the name Mr. Star, to shield Combs' identity. Now, this is where he loses me again, because Mr. Star was never one of the aliases that we heard about, because we only heard about Frank White, Frank Black, Jackie Star, and he would use the assistants' names as well at times. Okay. B, granting access to private or secured areas to Combs and his John Doe associates. C, escorting plaintiff and other participants in the encounters to and from rooms. And D, cleaning and removing paraphernalia used in the encounters, including oils, substances, and DRUG related items. E, failing to report or investigate clear signs of illegal conduct. Now, let me just say this. I don't know. I can't say that I don't know of the hotel staff cleaning up any illegal substances. What I can say is I do know that the assistants' jobs were to go into those hotel rooms and clean up any of that type of paraphernalia that was left behind. And then the hotel staff would then go and clean up the baby oil stains. Now it says, on information and belief, hotel staff accepted direction from Mr. Combs' entourage to prepare rooms for these encounters and conceal evidence afterwards, thereby actively enabling and protecting his conduct. Now, this is not hotel staff, sweetheart. Those were his assistants. So you have it wrong. Plaintiff is informed and believes that in at least one instance, Mr. Combs paid $100,000 in cash to hotel staff at Intercontinental Los Angeles Century City. Century City, not a defendant in this action, to suppress surveillance footage showing Combs assaulting Miss Ventura. Plaintiff did not learn of this payment arrangement until June 3rd of 2025. This revelation establishes Combs' pattern and practice of using money and prestige to make hotels do his bidding, and further confirmed to the plaintiff his belief that hotel defendants played a key role knowing, enabling, and concealing illegal acts herein alleged. Okay, the defendant and each of them filmed these encounters without plaintiff's knowledge or consent. And after Miss Ventura and Jane Doe testified in Combs' federal criminal trial, plaintiff came to understand the coercive nature of the scheme and has since suffered profound humiliation, emotional trauma, and psychological distress. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe this lawsuit. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. Put a 3 in the chat if you don't know what to think. Okay. Now we're going to scroll on down to see what it is that they're asking for. This person is asking for. This person, the plaintiff, has incurred and will continue to incur mental health related expenses as a result of the defendant's conduct. Each of them, plaintiff, has been damaged and has suffered damages in an amount in excess of $500,000. Now, let me see what y'all are saying down here. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. 4 because I'm lost. You want to know where I stand? 3. I don't know what to think. I don't know who to slap, because this is going to be the problem. Let me say this to anybody that is coming out with a lawsuit right now after this very public trial. Anything that you say that resembles this court case is going to be side-eye worthy, because people are then going to say that you waited for this court case to come out for you to file your lawsuit. And I don't know who this person is. They never identified themselves as being somebody who was named or any of that. And you know what I find very interesting is the fact that I do not recall seeing Clayton Howard in the escort lineup that was out there, that was put out there. I don't know. I got to go back and look at that picture. But anyway, all of this stuff to me with these escorts coming out and speaking now, it's like you're waiting till now, till the trial was over. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Clayton Howard gives me butthurt because he was not brought up onto the stand to testify for the government. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. If he talked to them the way that he's been talking to us and the way that his lawsuit has been reading, then there are contradictions within his stuff. Even in the many micro doses of him that we get when people do these long videos, these long interviews of him, you hear the contradiction. As I was reading the lawsuit, you hear the contradiction. But let me tell you something. Clayton Howard has a secret. Henny Glasses in the chat if you want a hint at what that secret is, because he is getting a video of his own as well. Because here is the thing. Everybody that has been a part of this Diddy freak off world, Diddy freak off hotel wild king night type of debauchery that was going on, everybody from Diddy all the way down, y'all are all involved in this, okay? And people keep saying, oh, Cassie needs to go to jail. Cassie needs to go to jail. Cassie needs to go to jail. She won't. Y'all can keep saying it all y'all want to. Y'all can keep saying that Cassie needs to get charges. She will never be charged for this federally. Never be federally charged for this. I'm going to say never be charged for this federally because she has been granted immunity. Now, why was immunity given out, folks? I'm going to say it one more again because the people who keep screaming this stuff do not explain it. The reason everybody was given immunity is because everybody was involved in some way, shape, or form. They were either co-conspirators or they were accessories to the crimes that were being committed, the crimes of engaging in prostitution, the crimes of DIDDY'S distribution. I could say that came from Diddy because he purchased them. He gave it out. Okay. The assistants, they were complacent into all of this by way of being an employee. All right. They were out here buying the DIDDY'S for him, picking up money to buy the DIDDY'S. So they would all, if you listen to their testimonies, they all self-incriminated on that stand. But that's what they needed. The government needed them to self-incriminate. So they were given immunity. Because if they weren't given immunity, then guess what? The government would have had nobody to testify except for the agents. So they had to give these people immunity. So while a lot of people are acting like they don't understand why that is, that's why that is. And a lot of the people that are talking are people that weren't even in the goddamn courthouse. I'm going to keep harping on that. Now, when it comes down to Mr. Clayton Howard, while he is out here spreading all of Cassie and Diddy's business in a way that it wasn't even spread in court, and out here also spreading that he allegedly caught chlamydia from Cassie because Diddy gave it to Cassie when he cheated on Cassie, and then Cassie went and slept with him and burnt him, but he says he thought it was his girlfriend, but it turned out that it came from Cassie and Diddy, even though he was a little smex worker that was out here working, and had other clients, so he really don't know where it came from, just like he really don't know if he was Cassie baby daddy or not, because I'm inclined to believe that Cassie was not pregnant by him, because Diddy also had carried Plan Bs in his little pouch, his little medicine bag. There was Plan Bs in there too. I guess people skipped over that part in the testimony. And even if it were true, Diddy was not going to allow Cassie to have the baby of an escort the way that he was making it seem. But Mr. Clayton Howard is also working to seal evidence, records, I should say, medical records that belong to him. He is trying to have them sealed in his lawsuit that he has out there. Would y'all like to see it? Henny Glasses in the chat if y'all would like to see that he is requesting for his medical records to be sealed. But sir, why should any portion of your medical records be sealed when you are out here putting other people's medical information out there? Y'all want to see it? Because y'all know I got it if I spoke on it. That's what I say. That's what I say. Hold on. Let me pull that for y'all real quick. Because I find it oh so very interesting. Now, understand this, you guys. I have some things that are redacted. They have to be redacted to protect the channel. Y'all ready? I think I want to go big. No, I need y'all to see the whole screen. I'm going to come down here with y'all in the chat. No, because then y'all can't see me. Can we do it like this? Can we do it like that? Y'all want to do it like that? Or should I do it like, oh, it won't let me do that. It won't let me do that neither. It won't let me do that. Let me see if I could fix that so that it's a little longer. Yeah, I think we're going to do it like that. I actually like that. Let me get my watermark up here. A bloop. All right, you guys. So, this is filed in the United States District Court, Central District of California, okay, in the Clayton Howard versus Sean Combs. Because let me clarify that for people too, because while people are saying that it's a Cassie lawsuit, it is Sean Combs and Cassie that he is going after. But in this, you see that it says Sean Combs, okay? Now, this is the declaration of Clayton Howard in support of an application to seal case records. Let's read. I, Clayton Howard, declare under penalty of perjury that the following is true and correct. Okay, personal knowledge. I am the plaintiff in this action and make this declaration based on my personal knowledge. I am competent to testify in the matter stated herein. This case involves highly sensitive medical information, specifically a diagnosis of, I know what the diagnosis is, affecting myself, and potentially other individuals. The case also involves personal identifying information that, if disclosed publicly, would cause severe and irreparable harm. Medical privacy concerns. I have been diagnosed with blank, a medical condition that carries significant social stigma and discrimination. B, public disclosure of this diagnosis would cause me severe emotional distress, psychological trauma, and potential harm in my personal and professional relationships. The medical information is not relevant to the public's understanding of the legal issues in this case. Protection of third parties. A, based on my knowledge and belief, defendants have engaged in similar conduct with other individuals who may also be affected by blank transmission. B, public disclosure could lead to identification of these individuals, causing them additional trauma and violating their privacy rights. C, these individuals did not consent to public disclosure of their medical information. Lack of public interest. A, the specific medical diagnosis and intimate details of the alleged conduct serve no legitimate public interest, and the public may be adequately informed about the legal issues without disclosure of these sensitive medical details. 6, pro se status. I am representing myself in this litigation without the assistance of counsel as a pro se litigant. I lack the resources and expertise to protect against potential misuse of personal information if made public. Okay. He is requesting that the court seal medical records and diagnoses related to blank, personal identifying information of all parties, details that could identify other potential victims. C, specific intimate details of alleged conduct. And D, I am not seeking to seal general case information, legal arguments, or procedural matters. Compelling reasons. A, the combination of highly sensitive medical information, potential for severe psychological harm, protection of third-party victims, and the significant social stigma associated with blank diagnosis creates compelling reasons that outweigh the presumption of public access. A good cause exists for sealing because the information is highly sensitive and private. Disclosure would cause irreparable harm to multiple individuals. The privacy interests significantly outweigh any public interest in disclosure, and least restrictive alternatives would not adequately protect the affected parties. I declare under penalty of perjury, under the laws of the United States, that the foregoing is true and correct. Signed, Clayton Howard, on the 16th of July. So, getting out here and telling about a child that was aborted, telling about transmission of STD, and disclosing that information about Diddy and Cassie, Diddy's infidelity, possibly bringing that into the whole universe of what y'all were doing, the stratosphere of it all, that is okay. But when it comes to what you have, you don't want anyone to know because you're trying to protect other potential victims. Well, in opening your mouth and saying that about them, you exposed other people who slept with them, who, by the way, no one else has disclosed that in their interviews that I'm aware of. I believe it came up. Did it come up in trial? I have to go look and re-review. But at the end of the day, she said she had UTIs and all of that other stuff that was going on. So you want to protect yourself while exposing others. See, let me tell you something. People can talk about victim. Oh, this one was playing the victim and this one was playing the victim. But the one thing that did get up there and get exposed was the fact that all of them were engaged in that debauchery. All of them. Everyone was complacent and consensual until they weren't. I could want to do something 1,000,001 times. And on the 1,000,002 time, I could say I don't want to do it no more. I have a right to do that. Everyone has a right to do that. And then what happens after that is what happens after that. But you want to get out here and you want to run a press tour. You want to be on every platform, dancing in the videos, exposing Diddy and Cassie's business. Now, when we were in federal court, everybody knew that their business was going to be exposed to a certain level. But he decided to come out here and expose to a whole nother level. Because did you take into account when you gave that story about an abortion, the fact that Roger Bonds had already come out and told a story before you that Cassie was allegedly pregnant and had an abortion? Do you really think that precautions were not taken to make sure that something, I mean, slip-ups happen. But do you really think that might not, do you think that didn't touch on maybe a trauma for her? So you want to think about protecting you. After you've got out here and you've talked about Diddy and Cassie's business. And I keep saying Diddy and Cassie's business because he says that Diddy caught it cheating on Cassie and brought it back to her, and she in turn gave it to him. So you putting Diddy and Cassie business out there like that. But you don't want to put your business. You want to limit how your business gets put out there. And guess what? You're representing yourself in pro se. Apparently you have not seen or heard or paid attention to Diddy's defense team. Diddy's defense team is going to eat you alive, sir. You have no legal counsel representing you. You have no legal degrees underneath you, because I found him on LinkedIn, you guys, and he has a past in construction, took a lot of LinkedIn tests. Found him on LinkedIn. I don't see anything on his LinkedIn that says anything about law, but again, we don't know when that LinkedIn was put up. I mean, his LinkedIn goes back, I think, about 8 years. So we don't know if he's keeping up with it and updating it, but he had a career in construction, according to LinkedIn. But you're exposing other people's business, sir. You don't get to do that. And you don't have a law degree that we know of. You didn't even speak about law in your LinkedIn. And I'm not saying that you're not doing it, but what I'm saying is you don't have the experience or the expertise that any of them on his defense team have. You want to go up against Mark Agnifilo, Teeny Garagos, Brian Steele, You don't want to go up against Nicole Westmoreland or Xavier Donaldson or Alexandra Shapiro. You don't want to go up against Alexandra Shapiro. And you for darn sure don't want to go up against Jason Driscoll or Miss Estivo by yourself. Any one of them is going to eat you up and spit you out. And I wouldn't be surprised if they fight you on this to make this information public, because it's a doozy. But anyway, you guys, that's going to do it for today's Spike Coffee in the Morning, even though it's kind of like brunch and mimosas. That should be some. Shut up, Henny. Anyway, that's going to do it for this Spike Coffee in the Morning for you guys. This is your makeup for yesterday. We will be back at the bar maybe later on tonight. If not, definitely I will come back tomorrow. I promise that I will come back tomorrow and I will give y'all some of those other videos that I was talking about. And I do have something that I'm trying to do tomorrow with the Henny Gang Down members. So y'all be there, be square. We're going to be heading over to Straight Henny Media. Give me a minute to set up that live, and we'll be over there discussing a few things that have been going down in the world of gossip. So if you are into that, make sure you are following Straight Henny Media, here's my announcement. You ready? Straight Henny Media is going back to being the Circus Press Box, and I'm going to use Straight Henny Media for something else. So we're switching things around. Don't you love it? Anyway, it's almost time for Media Showdown, you guys. So make sure that y'all go refresh y'all drinks, get yourselves set up, because we are going to get over there for Media Showdown. All right. Thank y'all for tapping in and tuning in with me. Love is always love, you guys. And remember to vibe high so that the bullshit doesn't quit. So the bullshit doesn't stick. What the hell? So the bullshit don't stick. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, everybody.